We're waiting for 4:05 p.m. and when it's 4:05 p.m. on dot, we are kickstarting the YouTube live. Just have 1 more minute. Okay. Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to this interesting live. It's our first official live on this channel, Mike Mr. Realty, and it's gonna be the first of many live sessions to come on this channel, and I highly encourage you to stay tuned because there's a whole lot to gain, there's a whole lot to learn. And first of all, I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm being audible. Trusting my microphone here not to disappoint, but nonetheless we're gonna kickstart because I've done the background checks. Everything looks good here at my end. So in today's live, we're going to be talking about the difference between provisional and registered survey in Nigerian real estate. We're going to be talking mainly about three things that Nigerians in diaspora need to know about the difference between provisional and registered survey. Now, this is the question that gets asked the most, and that's why I deemed it fit that I must dedicate a live session to address this question, to answer this question once and for all. So first, a little introduction. Let's get to it. So my name is Michael Lujobi, also known as Mike Mr. Realty, and I'm a real estate advisor and educator, and my passion is to create content, educational content that helps Nigerians in diaspora particularly navigate the real estate industry, as well as to create content that helps you invest safely and avoid costly mistakes. So I'm also an associate with Billionaires Realtor Group, BRG. It's the biggest real estate brokerage firm in Africa. So yeah, that's me, and it's a pleasure to meet you. So in this particular live, we're going to be covering what a survey plan is, and we're also going to answer the question of if real estate developers even register their survey plan, and we're going to learn how to know if a survey plan is registered. And we're also going to talk about the main difference between a registered survey and a provisional survey. So stick along. So what is a survey plan? So in Nigerian real estate industry, a survey plan is a transactional document. So it's a document that exchanges hands between the seller and the buyer when a buyer intends to buy a land. So in addition to the usual deed of assignment, to the land purchase receipt, a survey plan has to exchange hands between the seller and the buyer. So there's also this question of red card copy, and all of that. So what that simply means, because when you talk about a survey plan, you hear red copy, so a red copy of survey plan just simply means a registered survey plan. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is a red copy or there's a red piece of paper that you're going to expect to get. No, red is the short form of registered, and some people are fond of calling it record copy. So you can hear red copy, you can hear record copy. So the red is just the short form of registered, and some also even spell it as regged, like RAGD, as a registered copy. Some just say red that has been bastardized, and the registered has been bastardized, and we call it red. So when you hear red copy, all they're talking about is a registered survey plan, registered copy. So a survey plan also shows the entire boundaries of the land, talking about the demarcation of the land, talking about the shape of the land. In the survey plan, you're going to see the shape of the land, you're going to see the demarcations and the boundaries. And another importance of the survey plan is that where there is no survey plan, especially when you are buying from a real estate company, a real estate developer, where they don't have a survey plan over their expanse of land, they cannot do an estate layout. Now, an estate layout is what is done to earmark, or it's a layout to earmark certain areas in the estate where you're going to have the green areas. It's also going to map the road. There's going to be the road network in the layout. And yes, so the estate layout is also going to show, it's going to highlight the parking space. It's just like an overview of the entire estate. And without a survey plan, there can't be an estate layout. And without an estate layout, real estate developers, real estate companies cannot do what you call allocation. And that's one of the reasons why allocation is delayed in the real estate industry. We'll be talking about more about that in another dedicated video, another dedicated live session. So let's see what a survey plan looks like and what you should look out for in a survey plan. So, courtesy of Monile Lawyer, I have this image of a survey plan, and very shortly we are going to be talking about what you should look out for in a survey plan and how to know if a survey plan is legit or if it's even useful at all. So the first thing you must know in a survey plan is that a survey plan must carry your correct names. It must carry your correct names, and this is why when you are filling out the subscription form, maybe you're trying to buy a land and you are filling out the developer subscription form, the name that you write is very important. You have to write your correct name, because it is that name that you write that they're going to use to process your survey plan. So your survey plan has to carry the correct names, and where you submit, where you write your correct names, and when you are presented the survey plan, ensure that the name is correct. Cross-check the name to ensure that the name is actually correct. So the name is very important, because there are lots of scams that are being made, that there are lots of scams that are done simply because there's a discrepancy in the name, right? So it's very important to check that the name corresponds with your actual name. The name on the survey plan corresponds with your actual name and is correct. So the second thing you should watch out for in a survey plan is the correct address. Now, the survey plan must carry the correct address of the said land. In a survey plan is nowhere where there should be vague addresses, like maybe just the local government or just a short name of the address and whatever. No, the survey plan should carry the full address of the said property, of the said land, right? Because many a times when fraudulent real estate or fraudulent land sellers, when they want to play you, they're going to make the address, they're going to make it ambiguous, because they have plans of doing some shady things as far as the land is concerned. So the address, should pay attention to the address. It's very, very important. Ensure that the survey plan carries the correct and full address of the land. So another thing that you should take note of in the survey plan is that the survey plan must give you the shape. You must be able to see the shape of the land, because lands don't have uniform shapes. So the survey plan will give you the shape of the land. Now that shape is important for your architect, especially when you want to build on the land. So the shape on that survey plan would inform your architect, will let your architect know how he should design your house in a way that fits that shape. Do you understand? So yes, the survey plan will also let you see the road, how close you are to the road and everything, so that you can consider giving what you call setback. We're talking more about that perhaps in future or oncoming live sessions such as this. So moving on, the survey plan should also have what you call coordinates. As you can see here is the coordinate, and no two lands share the same coordinate. It is what the government are going to use to trace your land, to ensure that okay, all registration are well made and they link to you, who is the genuine owner of that land. So the survey plan must have the correct coordinates, and there's also something called beacon numbers on a survey plan. As you can see beacon numbers around the corners here. This is what your surveyor will use to create what you call your the corner piece. Right, so the beacon numbers are essential, and one thing you should ensure is that when your surveyor do their corner piece on the piece of land, the numbers here in these corners must tally with what is inscribed on the corner piece. That way the survey plan and the land, they connect, they marry, they are in sync. So these are some of the things that you should cross check as a buyer, and this knowledge and passing is what makes you an informed buyer. Yes, so the survey plan as well should have the signature of a licensed surveyor. All right, this is very important because we have just as we have quack doctors, we also have quack surveyors. So it's important that the survey plan is signed and sealed by a licensed surveyor, right? And the name of the surveyor should be clearly and boldly written on the survey plan. All right, so there is one cardinal part of the survey plan that is very, very, very important, and it is the survey plan number. As you can see here is the survey plan number. Very, very essential, because it is the number that they are going to use to trace and track your survey plan at the Surveyor General's office. All right, that's the number that is going to be kept in the at the records. That's going to be kept in the records of the the land registry, in the government records. And no two survey plan will have the same survey plan number. All right, and as a matter of fact, your deed of assignments too should carry this survey plan number, so that every document are in sync, they tie. Right, there is a chain, so that you create a chain of what's the word now, a smooth chain, right? You create a chain between document and document, right? So the survey plan number will be used in your deed of assignment. It's also, and when you want to verify as well, when anybody wants to verify your survey plan number, when they go to the Surveyor General's office, all they need to do is present this number, and they'll be able to confirm if the government has that file, has the survey plan on file. Right, so the survey plan number is very, very essential. It's going to save you from a lot of troubles in the future. So let's move on to the next topic. So, do real estate developers register their survey plan? Now, this depends, and we're going to talk about a scenario where no, real estate developers don't register their survey plan. Now, this is not all encompassing. I'm not trying to generalize here. In some instances, they register their survey plan. In some instances, they don't. And we're going to talk about both instances in this live session. So, the first instance is no, they don't register their survey plan. And why? Because as far as Lagos State is concerned, when it costs double to register a survey plan when you want to register as a registered company, as a limited liability company. It's different from where an individual wants to register his survey plan in Lagos. But when you want to register your survey plan in Lagos, as a company, the government is going to charge you double. So that increases the expense for registering a survey plan for the real estate developer. So many a times they try to dodge that expense and they don't register the survey plan in general, don't register the entire expanse of land. And it's not always a bad thing, right? Hear me out, it's not always a bad thing. But what they will do instead is, as at the time of land allocation, when they are allocating your own portion of land to you, then in that particular moment is when they are going to register your own survey plan in your own name. All right, so sometimes the company does not register the entire survey plan, but they wait until allocation time, and then when they want to allocate your land to you, they are now going to register your own survey plan in your name, and then with that you can go ahead to perfect your land title. All right, so the consequence of not registering the general survey plan is that the real estate developer, the real estate company, will not be able to get what you call a global C of O. All right, they are only going to depend on the deed of assignment that they got from the Omole that they bought the land from, or from the customary landowner that they bought the land from, or from even another company that they bought the land from. All right, so the second scenario that we are going to talk about today is in the case where the real estate company have registered their survey plan. Because yes, sometimes real estate developers, real estate companies, they do register their survey plan entirely. They go through the whole hoops, they spend the money, even though they call them double as a registered company, they spend the money on registering their survey plan. All right, yes, we have real estate companies that they register their survey plan over the expanse of land. They have their global CFO. By global, I mean a CFO that covers an expanse of land. It's also called general CFO by lawyers, but realtors call it global CFO. But at the time of land allocation to you as a client, if you are a client who have bought from them, from real estate companies who have registered their survey plan, at the time of allocating your portion of land to you, what you are going to get is a provisional survey plan, simply because they cannot go again to register your portion of land, your parcel of land, your article of land. No, what they are going to issue is a provisional survey, and then afterwards you can now go ahead to register that provisional survey and make it registered in your own name. All right, so in this case, they expect that the buyers, after getting their allocation, after getting their provisional survey, that they go perfect their land title. So that's the second scenario where real estate developers register their survey plan. All right, so now let's also discuss how to know if a survey plan is registered. Now, there are lots of things online where people try to be smart. They try to tell you, oh, check out for this, check out for that. Well, yes, to some degree, those things are valid, but the truest method, of course, we've also highlighted something that you should look out for in a survey plan. When you are presented a survey plan, talked about the name, talked about the beacon numbers, talked about the shape of the land, talked about the address and stuff. But the truest method, all right, of knowing if a survey plan is registered is by going to the Surveyor General's office and asking for a CTC, what is called a CTC. And a CTC stands for Certified True Copy. All right, so when you are presented a survey and you want to confirm if the survey is registered, all you need is to get the survey plan number, head on over to the Surveyor General's office and ask for the CTC copy of that survey plan number. And then where they are able to produce a copy, a certified true copy of that survey plan that has that survey plan number, then it means the survey plan has been registered with the government and the government has the record of that survey plan. So that's the truest method to know if a survey plan is registered or not. All right. Now let's talk about the main difference between a registered survey and a provisional survey that you need to know, especially you as a diasporan buyer. Now, the main difference when you have a registered survey, because there's a lot of hype, right? There's a lot of exaggeration when it comes to a registered survey or a provisional survey, right? But the main thing that you should bear in mind, that you should know, is that when you have a registered survey, you can perfect your land title directly at the land bureau, and you won't have to do a stopover at the surveyor general's office, as against when you have a provisional survey. So let me come again. When you have a registered survey plan, and you want to perfect your title, you want to get your governor's consent and things like that, you just go directly to the land bureau of the state. In Lagos we have it at Alausa, but you can always inquire about the particular location in the state that you're buying the land, of course. So if you have a registered survey, you're not doing any stopover at the surveyor general's office. You just go directly to the land bureau and you process your title perfection. But where you have a provisional survey, you cannot go directly to the land bureau to perfect the documents. You have to first go to the surveyor general's office in order to register that provisional survey that you have. All right. So it's after you then register that provisional survey that you have, because when you are given a provisional survey, you can register it. So in that case, you have to go to the surveyor general's office to have it registered. Now, the surveyor general's office, when you go to the surveyor general's office, they are going to examine the coordinates of that land and check if it falls under committed land in their acquisition map. There's something called acquisition map or the cadastral plan. So they're going to check there. They're going to check using the coordinates that is on your provisional survey. They're going to check if the land falls under committed land or non committed land. So if it falls under non committed land, you are safe. Then they are required at the surveyor general's office to visit the coordinates, to come to your property to ensure that the property exists and that the information that you have on the provisional survey correlates with what they see at site, and then the registering process can commence. They're going to register your survey. Of course, this comes at its own expense, comes at its own price, comes at its own costs. But the main difference between when you have a registered survey and when you have a provisional survey is that when you have a registered survey, it saves you time. Obviously, just go directly to the survey, the land bureau, and perfect your documents, and it saves you time. And in a case where you have a provisional survey and you want to register, of course, you have to bear in mind the bureaucracy factor, the bureaucratic bottleneck that you have in Nigeria, the Nigerian factor. It can take more time. It's definitely going to cost you money, and you also have to factor in the bureaucratic bottleneck, the red tapeism that you have in Nigeria. So like I said here, only a registered survey can help in perfecting land title, like your governor's consent and whatnot. Right, so these are the things you should consider when you have a provisional survey or you have a registered survey. All right. Now, would you get a provisional survey or registered survey from the developer? Now, this is a bonus topic, right, that I included. Now, the way to know if what you're going to get from the developer is a provisional or a registered survey is the price the price of the survey gives you a hint, right? Because in many cases, real estate developers, they have what they call the documentation price, have the cost for documentation, and they break down the cost for documentation. And in that breakdown, more often than not, you're going to see the cost for the survey plan. So in a case where, of course, you are buying, let's assume you are buying a property in Lagos, because I focus mainly in Lagos. Now, when you are buying a property in Lagos and the price for the survey plan that you see is generally below 400,000, that gives you a hint that you are most likely going to get a provisional survey, right? That gives you a hint right there that you are most likely to get a provisional survey from the real estate company. Now, there's even an update as far as Ibejuleki exit is concerned, that there has been a price review on top of it. So I think it's even around $1 million or so now in Ibejuleki exit. So when you see a price, for instance, if you see the documentation and the survey plan is around 1 million or 500,000 upward, you are most likely going to get a registered survey. So the price, like I said here, gives you a hint as to what to expect, either a personal survey plan or a registered survey plan. Now, secondly, real estate developers have what we call the FAQ document. So in the FAQ document, they enumerate the kind of survey plan that they are going to issue when you have made payments. All right, so these are places that you can check to have a good idea of if you're going to get a professional or a registered survey from the developer. But mind you, a professional survey plan can be upgraded to a registered survey plan. And like I advise my clients, even when you get a professional survey plan from that real estate developer, they can help you upgrade it. All you need to do is pay the difference. And I strongly encourage my clients to go through the real estate developer when upgrading the survey plan to a registered survey plan, because the real estate developer has contacts. Remember the bureaucratic bottleneck that we talked about. You don't want to have you really don't want to deal with any of that, right? So it's better to rely on the real estate developing company to help you out in registering your provisional survey plan. So they usually have the contact and it's usually fast tracked. All right. So yes, a provisional survey plan can be upgraded. Now if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I don't know. Let's see what we have here. Now this is the Q&A session. If you have questions as to what we have discussed, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Let's see what we have here. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions for you. We are now in the Q&A session. Alright, so if you have questions, ensure to drop them and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So I don't know what YouTube is trying to tell me here. Error. YouTube is not, I don't know what YouTube is trying to say, but I guess I'm just going to continue nonetheless because we are live and we are live. Alright, so let's move on. Now let's talk about a property highlight for today. Now, introducing Zula Rich Residences. Now, Zulari residences. If you are looking for, you or someone you know, you're looking for a prime property in what you call the New Lagos without the Lagos price tag, or if you are looking for a place you can proudly call home in Lagos, that you can show off and that you can be proud that you are the landlord, or if you're looking for a child friendly estate that has all the basic amenities for comfortable living, or you want a place that you can pay and park in, a fully completed estate with good and tight documentation, no stories, then you will like Zulari Residences Phase 2 at Songotedo, Ibeju, Lekki. Right, so let's have a look at Zulari Residences. Let me show you a footage to give you a good glimpse, a sneak peek into Zulari Residences. Stay tuned.
So,
Okay,
Spacious living room.
I look good.
okay. On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple back, flip out the whole scene. Okay. All you suckers just don't wanna be me. So, get smacked. You looking black. I got the big stats.
Yes, so this is me at the inspection of the property Zulari Residences at Songotedo. Absolutely. So the footage gives you a sneak peek into Zulari Residences. Now, more about Zulari Residences. Now, Zulari Residences is an exquisite estate, well equipped for a comfortable living, right? And it's an estate that is in the center of major hubs and environments. You know, when you reside in that estate, you have connectivity to uptown areas like Victoria Island, like even Ikoyi, like Lekki, like Aja, and the environment is also close to major hubs like Songotedo, Shoprite, Lagos Business Schools, Kaimo, Lufasi Park, Imperial Estate. And these are really popular places. These are really interesting landmarks around Zulari Residences. Now, what properties are available at Zulari Residences? Available units are 2-bedroom apartments going for this price right here, and we have 2-bedroom detached apartments which is going for this price right here, and we have 4-bedroom terrace which is going for this price right here. Now, all of this, now you can become a part of this project with just an initial deposit of 10 million naira, right? With an initial deposit of 10 million naira, you already kickstart the process of owning one or more of these properties. And the interesting thing about this estate is that they have a payment plan available of up to 6 months interest free. Isn't that very interesting? Now, the estate provides 24-hour electricity supply as well as 24-hour security personnel. So that means the gatehouse is always mounted with a security personnel, and the estate offers treated water supply as well as 24 hours CCTV surveillance. Now, the estate is access controlled, so you can feel safe. You and your family can feel safe because the estate is access controlled. Not just there's a regimen. It's a protocol that visitors have to go through before they are granted access into the estate. And the estate has general amenities like swimming pool, gym, and a play garden, as well as ample parking space. All right. So the building feature itself, the building has detailed finishing and spacious layout. Now, the building also has modern sanitary wares, and all rooms in the estate come en suite. And all rooms have fitted wardrobes, and the master bedroom has its own shoe racks. Now, the kitchen is also fully fitted. You have the gas cooker, you have the microwave, you have the cabinet, and the heat extractor. All these things come with the fitted in the kitchen. Now for safety, the building also has fire alarm system and smoke detectors. Now, what's the process of coming on board? What's the onboarding process if you are interested in Zulari residencies? Now, the first thing is to watch the presentation just like this. I'm briefing to understand, to set your expectations right, to understand what the building, to understand what the building is about, and what we are offering, right? What the building has to offer. Now, the second step is to book a site inspection where you are there on site to see exactly with your two eyes what we have on ground. And the third step is to read what you call the ownership terms. We're going to be forwarded FAQ and the terms of ownership of the property. And then, if all checks out, you can fill the subscription form. Right? It's going to be a subscription form that you're going to fill your correct names and attach your passport and whatnot, and select the actual property that you're interested and your payment method. And the final step is to make payment either outright or in installment. Now, if you make your payment outright, you're going to get allocation instantly. You're going to get allocated to your building instantly. But when you make payment in installment, yes, when you make the initial 10 million, the onboarding process is going to commence. But when you make up to 50% payment, then your allocation the allocation process can also commence. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Now, if you are interested in this property, feel free to reach out to me using this number. You can call me or you can text me, and I'll be more than happy to guide you as to how to come on board of Zulari Residencies. Thank you very much, and see you again.